What's up, family? I greet you, I see you, I recognize you. Thank you very much for stopping by. You are appreciated. This is family, like I said, all the time. Thank you. My name is Zack. Your first time, you're welcome. Okay? You want to know about the motherland? This is where you want to be. No doubt about that. Thank you very much. I see a lot of statistics. I was looking into statistics lately. Some of the team was showing me statistics. I want to say thank you very much for the people of the United States of America. Thank you for the brotherhood. Thank you for coming back to the channel and watching. And we do this for you, okay? We do this for you. Thank you for the Caribbeans. We see you all over the place. Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, St. Kitts. All of you. I can't name everybody. I appreciate you guys. And I want to thank very much the people of South Africa for repeatedly coming. Sanbonani, Dumelang, Tobela, I see you. Thank you so much. Okay, Molweni, you know. Thanks to the people of Africa as well for coming back. I appreciate you. Like I said earlier, my name is Zack. This is your first time. You are very welcome. First thing first, please click on the button. Like. Okay, can we all do this? Can I please ask you to do this? Okay, it costs you nothing. We feel appreciated. It's done. Great stuff. Okay, so today we're talking about something very interesting. You know this guy? Do you know him? Have you seen him before? What's his name? Ibrahim Traore. Great stuff, okay? You certainly have seen it before. We're talking about this country. This right here is his country. That is called Burkina Faso. Well, Burkina Faso is our subject today. The subject is clear. Today we're talking about the brand new laws that have been implemented in Burkina Faso. And I think it's very interesting because it's going to set ground for how you perceive Africa and how our countries in Africa should perceive themselves in the future. Some interesting laws, you know, some of them are spicy, but I'm sure you're going to like them in most cases, okay? Well, let's go to it. First law first, Burkina Faso has adopted a new code of a person. So there's laws about adulthood. We're talking about age when you get married. There's a law about marriage. Okay, when do you get married? How do you get married? There's a law about polygamy. Can you get more wives than you have? Can you reduce the numbers of wives? What are the rules? There's laws about morality. I mean, you can't just do anything anyhow. Okay, when you enter somebody's house, there's conduct codes that you need to follow. So Burkina Faso is not a toilet. Okay, so you gotta know exactly what's happening. There's laws about foreigners, you know, how do you behave in Burkina Faso, and many other things. So let's go through this and see what's happening. First law. Okay, the first law, it's about the minimum age of marriage. 18 years old. Okay, if you're not 18 years old, you are not getting married. 18 years old for both genders, you know, with exception in some situation, and I can explain. So basically, in some African countries, in some tribes, okay, you will see people getting married much younger. Okay, they will marry people at 15 years old, 16 years old. And back in time, it was never an issue. Back in time, like our mother's time or your mother's time, probably, we're talking about Africa, was never really a big issue because for some reason, I tend to feel like Africans back then were much older or more wiser. I don't know, like you look at the Lumumba, the likes of Thomas Sankara and all these people, they were young. They were in the early 30s when they were fighting. You look at the likes of Mama Winnie Mandela of South Africa when she was fighting for the freedom. At 18, she was already a leader in the neighborhood. Okay, she was impactful. Look at the 18-year-old girl today. If she's not doing makeup videos, she's probably doing some, yeah, you know what I'm saying. And look at the men today. Look at the men at 30 nowadays. They're playing stupid games. So they're very different. Now, I'm not justifying necessarily what happened in the past, saying that it was correct. But it seemed like back in time, people tend to be more mature at early age. And again, I'm not saying it's correct. Now, Burkina Faso has stopped that. So from now on, if you're not 18 years old, you're not getting married. Okay? That's what it is. The second new law is about forced marriage. No more forced marriage. You see a lot of that happen in many places. I've heard stories. I've heard uncles talk about stories that you see that lady and that man, they were basically not boyfriend and girlfriend. They got married very early. How? Because their family had a consensus. So basically one family goes to the other family saying, listen, we saw a girl here, we would like her for our child. The family either consents or doesn't consent. In the case of consent, they bring them together, they get married. Now, in most cases, those families seem to be happy. In most cases, apparently at least. We don't know the internal situation. Obviously, there were numbers of people that were unhappy. They were forced to marry people they didn't like. Some people believe there was positivity about that because they feel like people got married with much less body count. If body count is important, I believe a lot of men feel like body count is very important. Many people believe that psychologically, the number of people that have traversed you, a number of people you've let in within your intimacy plays a major role in your mental and spiritual health. Do you agree to that? Well, in most cases, a lot of people agree. And also, with that being said, when people got married very young, they didn't have situations of single parenting, single mother, whatever that is. Back in time, matter of fact, they say when a man impregnated a woman, he was obliged to marry the woman. There was no, they're still young. No such thing. If she's pregnant, she's your wife. There's no such thing. I realized that it was just a sneaky link. There's no such thing as sneaky link because women were trained to protect themselves until marriage. And boys were also trained to be husband, not boyfriend. I mean, the boyfriend thing is something we've learned from white people. Yeah, boyfriend thing is something imported by the white man. I know, a lot of things, even kissing. Yeah, you never used to kiss. Okay, that I'm joking. One of my friends used to say that. One of my friends said black people never used to kiss each other. They were just jump into the action. No kissing. It was just, with time that people learned how to do that thing. And also the other thing, putting your mouth, look at, this is president of Uganda say you mustn't use your mouth. Watch that.
One of them is what they call oral sex. The mouth is for eating. Okuria, cham. The mouth is for eating, not for sex. We know the address of sex. We know where sex is.
So the president of Uganda said the mouth is for eating only, nothing else. Anyway, let's get back on track. So, no more forced marriage. Basically, no more forced marriage. Earlier, I said there was arranged marriage. There's arranged marriage and forced marriage. These are two different things. Arranged marriage is about agreement. Forced marriage is taking somebody by force. And I'm not saying one is better than the other, but what I'm saying is Burkina Faso from now on will not allow any forced marriage. So, the child or the person involved should be willing to do it. And that is a great thing. Next thing is religious marriage. Now, religious marriage will be recognized by the law in Burkina Faso. Congratulations. That's great. Religious marriage will be recognized by the law. In many places, people don't necessarily recognize religious laws or religious marriage. They recognize the state marriage, meaning when you go to see the state agent. Let me explain to you. In Africa, in most cases, people do three types of encounters. The first time is when the man goes to see the lady's family to say, hello, I'm coming to marry your child with his uncle. Obviously, he cannot go by himself. They're going to chase him. The second time is when he goes to pay the dowry. The dowry is what you have to pay to the African woman's family to have her with you. Okay, you can't just take her and go. You can't do that. You can't do that. Now, in most cases, most African countries, by the time you pay the dowry, that is considered as traditional marriage. Okay? Now, in some countries, unfortunately, traditional marriage is not registered by law. It's not legal binding. Now, there's the third marriage, which is the religious marriage or the state marriage, where you are bound by law. Now, the problem with this is what? Sometimes some people got married only religiously or traditionally. And as it goes, sometimes the husband passes away for natural reason or for anything. And what happens when a woman's husband passes away without her having to do legal or state marriage, she loses the rights to the husband's good. Like the house, the car, the thing, she loses the right. And it's very sad because in many places in Africa, they will come looking for her to take things from her. That is very sad. Yes. I mean, I remember one of my sisters, okay, when her husband passed away, the husband's family came to my sister's house wanting to take the TV, to take the microwave, to take the bed, to take all his clothes, his watches, his cell phone, everything. Okay, I don't endorse that. Those people are not even from my tribe. So it's their tribe. Yeah, it's tribe by tribe. They have different things. In their tribe, people can do that. And it was very sad. And I remember I stood up. I wanted to stop them from doing that. And one of my cousins said, do not do that. We understand how strong you are. We understand your influence, but do not stand between her and that. Let her go through it so they can remove that ring. And I know it's very sad because a child wants to keep memories of his father by keeping his father's shirt or shoe. Imagine finding yourself in a situation like that where they have to take everything that belonged to your father. You have no memory left. They're probably going to sell it because they're poor. I know. Now, in Burkina Faso, it's very clear now. If they did legal marriage or social marriage or traditional marriage, this is binding. You have no right to come and take anything or remove anything from it's very sad. I know. Look, Africans are not always nice. Not at all. So number 4, I think there's a brand new law about polygamy. Okay, polygamy in Burkina Faso has a brand new law. What does the law say? The law says if you are polygamous, or polygamy, you know what it is, when a man has multiple wives. Burkina Faso say if you married in a monogamy system, you cannot change into a polygamy later by choice. Do you understand? I mean, some people do that. They do that a lot. You see a lot of that in Cameroon, especially. Somebody marries a woman, and in other places as well. Marries a woman, you know what I mean? And they say it's a monogamy. Then after a couple of years, he sees some nyash around the corner and he's like interested. Then he wants to bring the other wife. And you know, when you have the first wife, she's got 2 kids and doesn't have many other places to go, many other options. You say, no, I'm bringing another woman. There's nothing you can do about it. And unfortunately, it's happened so much because in most cases, many of these first wives had no jobs. Okay, so they depended on the husband financially. So with 2 or 3 kids and the husband is looking to get another woman and you don't have finances with you, how much options you have? So in most cases, a lot of them stayed and they agreed finally to this position. Now, the government say you cannot do that no more. Finished. You cannot just out of your mind say, okay, I met Jessica in the street. She got a lovely nyash and I want to add her on the number. From now on, you're going to be 2 or 3. Not anymore. Congratulations to Burkina Faso for that. I think it's a lovely thing. You know what I mean? Unless you have an agreement with your wife saying, listen, baby, I think I want to have another wife for whichever reason. And she has to agree to it. Then you can do it. But you cannot force her into anything she doesn't want anymore because you're going to be punished by the law. The other law in Burkina Faso is polyandry. Polyandry is a law where women have multiple men. Okay, you see that in some places in the world. I think some of the last polyandrous marriages were found in DRC. Some places in DR, in Kasai, you would find that. I'm not sure whether it's still on, but you find polyandry as well somewhere in Asia. And I think that was made for economical reasons. A woman will marry 2 brothers for resources. Okay, it was usually in that setup. I just found it absolutely weird. Like, how do you have the same woman as your brother? Whose children are those? I mean, disgusting. Polyandry in Burkina Faso is banned. And I know the feminists are here, they're like, no, why? Why do you allow polygamy and ban polyandry? That's not fair. It doesn't sound fair. I know, but the bottom line is, I mean, society has stated that it looks better when a man has multiple wives than it looks when a woman has multiple men. Now, the next law, it is activities that threaten family values. Now, they're talking about activities that threaten family values here. So there is, number 1, as you would perhaps anticipate, because it's Africa, criminalization of men and men doing each other. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that is banned. Banned in Burkina Faso. I mean, it was not authorized in the past, but now they've passed a law. It's officially banned. If you do it and you get arrested, you're going to have to pay $3,000 to $15,000. And I know some of my friends here do that. But look, everybody has a choice. It's your body. It's your life. But not in Burkina Faso. So you can do it wherever you are, whatever you like. Not in Burkina Faso. Well, it's not an exclusivity of Burkina Faso. In Africa, we have Uganda as well that voted the law banning completely those activities. So basically, they're saying any activity that threatens family values, whether you want to be with another man, whether you're with a nyash, you want to be with another woman, whether you want to be with a tree, whether you want to be with an animal, or, it's not accepted in Burkina Faso. There's no explanation to that. If you're arrested, you're going to have to pay 3,000 to 15,000 fine and go to jail from 2 to 5 years. That's a lot. And if you're a foreigner doing that, the best chances you get after going to jail, you're going to get expelled from the country. So just be wise, brother. I mean, you want to do whatever you want to do, do it. When you go to that place, don't do it. Just respect other people's culture. I think it's as simple as that. The same way you respect Dubai, you respect Abu Dhabi and all that stuff, Saudi Arabia. You don't go out there, whether you do it or not, you hide yourself, right? So is it fair? Well, it's their country. They make whichever choice they think it's good for them. Now, Burkina Faso has also a law about losing nationality. Okay, people can lose nationality. You can lose nationality if a Burkinabe citizen voluntarily acquires another nationality without notifying the government. They may lose their Burkinabe citizenship. Okay, so you want to change your nationality or you want to have another one, you must make sure that the government is aware of that. Number two, if a foreigner marries a Burkinabe person and can apply for nationality after 5 years, there are some level of offices he cannot enter. Okay, some services he cannot do. Like being the president or stuff like that. Because surely, where are your loyalty if you were born in Mexico? You know what I'm saying? Is that correct or not? The next law is servicing. If you as a Burkina Faso man go to another country and you serve as a foreign army, you're going to lose your nationality. How is that possible? Well, a lot of European nations recruit people in Africa to go fight for them. Like the French. They have a French external legion or foreign legion where they hire only foreigners to go fight for them. And they pay good money. So if you do that, you're going to lose your nationality. So that's what it is, fellas, about Burkina Faso. I think it's a very interesting thing. I want to know how you feel about it. The first change is about age. 18 years old minimum for you to get married. If you're not 18, you're not getting married. Number two, they've banned forced marriages. Okay, you cannot be forced into marriage anymore. Number three, religious and traditional marriage are now recognized. Okay, even African religious stuff is recognized. You can now, by law, be married traditionally. Nobody's going to come and take your stuff anymore. The other law is polygamy. If you're in a monogamous marriage, you cannot just go pick up a woman in the street and make her your wife without your wife's consent. Unauthorized. Burkina Faso has banned activity between men and men, women and women. You can't, women and dog. You can't do that. You're gonna go to jail, pay 15,000, or go 5 years in jail. Burkina Faso now says if you do certain things, you will lose nationality. You work for an army that is foreign, you lose nationality. If you become a traitor to the country, you lose nationality. If you acquire another nationality without advising the country, you lose nationality. Let me know how you feel about this, fellas. Again, if you have not done this, please do this. Okay, is it done? Appreciate it. Now, drop a comment because we need this channel to go further. It has to make sense. And I appreciate you again. I will see you again on the next time. We come back every single day. 3 times a day. God bless.